The pregnancy test trembled in my hands, two pink lines staring back at me like an accusation. I was carrying Cha Ji-hoon's baby. My best friend's husband's baby. The man I'd been secretly in love with for 3 years. How did I let it come to this? 3 weeks earlier, Min-jae, please. You're my only hope. Park Seo-jun's voice cracked as he poured me another shot of soju. We sat in our usual pojangmaka in Hongdae, the plastic tent barely shielding us from Seoul's autumn drizzle. His eyes were red-rimmed, desperate in a way I'd never seen before. Seo-jun, I don't know if... 5 surrogates, Min-jae. They all failed. He grabbed my hand across the sticky table. The doctors say there's nothing wrong with Ji-hoon's sample. It's just bad luck. But we're running out of time. His mother gave us an ultimatum, produce an heir within a year or she'll force a divorce. My stomach twisted. Divorce. Ji-hoon free. Stop it, Kang Min-jae. Stop thinking like that. Why me? I whispered even though I knew. I was a healthy omega, never been pregnant, perfect medical history. And more importantly, I'd do anything for Seo-jun. He'd been my anchor since university, when everyone else treated me like dirt for being an omega scholarship student. But asking me to carry his baby? Ji-hoon's baby? It felt like the cruelest joke in the world. Because I trust you, Seo-jun said, squeezing my hand. Your family, Min-jae. You're the only one who would actually care about this child. Please. I'm begging you. I looked into my best friend's desperate eyes and felt my resolve crumble. Okay, I heard myself say. I'll do it. I didn't tell him that I'd been in love with his husband since the day they got married. That every family dinner at their Hanamdong penthouse was torture. That I'd memorized the way Ji-hoon's jaw clenched when he was stressed, the rare softness in his eyes when he smiled, the devastating elegance of his hands when he poured wine. I didn't tell him that agreeing to this would destroy me. But I said yes anyway. The fertility clinic. Child General Hospital's VIP fertility center in Gangnam looked more like a luxury hotel than a medical facility. Everything was pristine white and chrome, cold and impersonal, just like the man sitting stiffly beside Seo-jun in the consultation room. Cha Ji-hoon hadn't looked at me once since we arrived. Mr. Kang Min-jae, your test results are excellent, Dr. Lee Hyun-woo said, sliding papers across his desk. You're an ideal candidate for surrogacy. We'll begin hormone treatments immediately and schedule the implantation for next month. Thank you, doctor. I managed, my voice barely steady. Ji-hoon, isn't this wonderful? Seo-jun beamed, grabbing his husband's hand. We're finally going to have a baby. Ji-hoon's expression remained impassive, but I saw it. The slight tension in his shoulders, the way his fingers curled into a fist. When his dark eyes finally flicked to me, the intensity made my breath catch. Are you certain about this, Min-sai? His voice was low, formal, professional, like I was a business transaction. This is a significant commitment. Min-jae SSI. Not even Min-jae anymore, like he used to call me before the wedding. Before everything changed. I'm sure, I lied. His jaw clenched. For a moment, something flickered across his face. Regret? Anger? I couldn't tell. Then it was gone, replaced by that cool, Seo mask he wore so well. Then we'll proceed, he said flatly, standing. I have a meeting. Seo-jun, I'll see you at home. He left without another word, his expensive cologne lingering in the air like a ghost. Seo-jun laughed nervously. Sorry, Min-jae. You know how he is, all business. But he's grateful, really. We both are. I nodded, but my hands wouldn't stop shaking. 3 weeks later, the procedure itself was clinical, painless. Ji-hoon provided his sample in a sterile room. Dr. Lee handled the implantation. Seo-jun held my hand the entire time, chattering about nursery colors and baby names. Ji-hoon stood by the window, staring out at the Seoul skyline, his back rigid. Afterward, Seo-jun had to rush back to his pharmaceutical company for an emergency. I'll pick you up in an hour, okay? Rest here. Then I was alone with Ji-hoon in the recovery room. The silence was suffocating. Does it hurt? He asked suddenly, still not looking at me. No. I'm fine. You didn't have to agree to this. Seo-jun's my best friend. Of course I did. Finally, he turned. His eyes were darker than I'd ever seen them, burning with something that made my heart race dangerously. That's the only reason? His voice was barely a whisper. I couldn't answer. Couldn't breathe. The way he was looking at me, like he could see straight through to every secret I'd buried. My phone buzzed. Sujin, on my way. Thank you again, Minjae. You're our miracle red heart. The moment shattered. Ji-hoon turned back to the window. I'll wait outside. Now, 3 weeks later, I stared at those 2 pink lines and felt my world tilt. I was pregnant with Cha Ji-hoon's baby. And I had no idea how I was going to survive the next 9 months without my heart breaking completely. My phone rang. Seo Jun's name flashed on the screen. Minjae, did you take the test? What does it say? I closed my eyes, willing my voice to stay steady. It's positive, Seo Jun. I'm pregnant. His scream of joy echoed through the phone, and I heard another voice in the background, deeper, quieter. Ji-hoon. He wants to talk to you, Seo Jun said breathlessly. My hand tightened around the phone. Minjae. Ji-hoon's voice was rough, strained. Thank you. 2 words. That's all. But the way he said my name. You're welcome, I whispered. The line went dead. I looked at my reflection in the bathroom mirror, at the test still clutched in my trembling hands, and whispered the truth I could never speak aloud. I'm doing this because I love you, Cha Ji-hoon. And it's going to destroy me. Absolutely not. Ji-hoon's voice cut through the penthouse like a blade. I stood in the marble foyer of their Hanamdong home, my overnight bag feeling like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Ji-hoon, be reasonable, Seo Jun pleaded, blocking my path as if I might flee. Minjae needs proper care. The doctor said stress-free environment, good nutrition, constant monitoring. Who better than us? He has his own apartment. In Noan, that tiny Gazawan? While carrying our baby. Seo Jun's voice rose. He's doing us the biggest favor in the world. The least we can do is take care of him properly. Ji-hoon's eyes finally met mine. Turbulent. A muscle ticked in his jaw. What do you want, Minjae-sai? I want you to want me here. I want you to look at me like I matter. I don't want to impose, I said quietly. Seo Jun's just worried, but I can manage. See? He agrees with me. Ji-hoon turned away sharply. He's being polite, you idiot. Seo Jun grabbed his husband's arm. Minjae, please. For the baby's sake. The baby. Always the baby. Not me. Okay, I whispered. Just until the 2nd trimester. Ji-hoon's shoulders tensed, but he said nothing. He simply walked away, disappearing into his study with a slam of the door. Week 3 of living together. I learned Ji-hoon's patterns like a survival skill. He left for his office at Gangnam at exactly 6:47 a.m. Returned at 9 p.m., sometimes later. We'd eat dinner with Seo Jun, awkward, stilted conversations where Ji-hoon barely acknowledged my existence. Then he'd retreat to his study until past midnight. I told myself it was better this way. Safer. But then Seo Jun's company launched a new drug trial, and everything changed. I'll be working late all week, maybe staying at the office, Seo Jun announced one Monday morning, kissing my forehead. Ji-hoon, take care of Minjae for me, okay? Make sure he eats. Ji-hoon's knuckles whitened around his coffee cup. I have my own work. Please? For me. Seo Jun's puppy dog eyes were impossible to resist. Fine. That first evening alone, I hid in my room, the guest suite overlooking the Han River. I ordered delivery, planning to avoid Ji-hoon entirely. At 7 p.m., a knock on my door made me jump. Minjae-sai. Ji-hoon's voice, carefully neutral. Dinner's ready. I already ate, thank you. You ordered tteokbokki from that place in Itaewon. Too spicy for pregnancy. Dr. Lee's guidelines specifically said. He stopped, clearing his throat. I made mayakguk. It's good for the baby. Seaweed soup. He'd cooked? I opened the door slowly. Ji-hoon stood there in a black t-shirt and slacks, his usually perfect hair slightly mussed, looking uncomfortable and somehow devastatingly beautiful. You didn't have to. Are you coming or not? The dining table was set for 2. Mayakguk, steamed fish, seasoned vegetables, perfectly cooked rice. Restaurant quality. You made all this? I cook when Seo Jun's busy. He sat down stiffly, not looking at me. Eat. It was delicious. perfectly seasoned, the kind of home-cooked meal I hadn't had since my mother passed. I found myself eating more than I had in weeks. It's good, I admitted softly. The corner of his mouth twitched. Almost a smile. My grandmother's recipe. We ate in silence, but it felt different. Less hostile. Almost comfortable. Thank you, I said when I finished. Ji-hoon's eyes lifted to mine, and for a moment, just a moment, the mask slipped. The way he looked at me made my pulse race. You're welcome, he murmured. Then his phone rang. Seo-jun. The moment shattered. Week 5. It became a routine. Seo-jun worked late. Ji-hoon came home earlier, 8 p.m., then 7:30, then 7. He cooked. We ate together. Small talk at first. Weather, news, the baby's development. Then deeper things. His childhood in Busan. My scholarship struggles at university. His passion for architecture before family pressure pushed him into business. My secret dream of opening a small cafe someday. Why don't you? He asked one night, pouring me barley tea. Money. Stability. Reality. I laughed bitterly. Omegas don't get to dream big. His expression darkened. That's not true. In your world, maybe. Not mine. Min-jae. The way he said my name, no honorific, just Min-jae, rough and intimate, made my breath catch. Our eyes locked across the table. The air felt electric, dangerous. His phone buzzed. He broke eye contact first, jaw clenched. I should clean up. But something had shifted between us, and we both knew it. Week 7, the storm. The summer monsoon hit Seoul with a vengeance. Thunder rattled the windows. Rain lashed the penthouse. Seo-jun was in Busan for a conference. I was alone with Ji-hoon. At 2 a.m., the nausea hit like a truck. I barely made it to the bathroom before vomiting violently, my whole body shaking. Morning sickness had been getting worse, but this was unbearable. I don't know how long I was there, collapsed on the cold tile, when the door opened. Min-jae. Ji-hoon's voice, sharp with alarm. Strong hands gathered my hair back. A cool cloth pressed to my forehead. He held me through another wave of sickness, murmuring softly in a dialect I couldn't quite catch, Busan Satori, comforting and gentle. When it finally passed, I was trembling and crying. Ji-hoon lifted me like I weighed nothing, carrying me to my bed. He tucked the blankets around me with careful hands. I'll call Dr. Lee. No, I'm okay. It happens. My voice was hoarse. He sat on the edge of my bed, his hands still cradling my face. Thunder crashed outside. In the lightning flash, his eyes were desperate, anguished. You shouldn't have agreed to this, he whispered. Why did you, Min-jae? Why? The honorific was back, but different now. Intimate. Min-jae. Like we were friends. Like I mattered. Because I couldn't finish. Couldn't tell him the truth. His thumb brushed my cheekbone, and I saw it then. The same longing I'd been hiding for 3 years, reflected in his eyes. Min-jae. His voice broke. We were so close. His breath on my lips. My heart thundering louder than the storm. Then my phone lit up. Seo-jun's name. Hope you're sleeping well. Love you, Min-jae. Red heart. Ji-hoon pulled back like he'd been burned. Stood abruptly. Get some rest, he said, voice cold again. Professional. Call if you need anything. He left. I buried my face in the pillow and cried. The next morning, I found them in Ji-hoon's study while looking for a book. A whole drawer full, dozens of sketches, all of me. Me laughing at Seo-jun's jokes. Me reading on their couch. Me looking out at the river. Me at their wedding, standing apart from the crowd, looking lost. All dated. Some from 3 years ago. He'd been drawing me since the beginning. My hands shook as I held a sketch from last month. Me sleeping in the penthouse guest room, moonlight on my face, one hand unconsciously resting on my still flat stomach. Min-jae. Ji-hoon's voice behind me, raw and broken. I turned, tears streaming down my face, the sketches clutched to my chest. How long? I whispered. His eyes were devastated. Since the day Seo-jun introduced us. Since the moment I saw you smile. The truth hung between us like a blade. We were in love with each other. And we were destroying everything. Jeju Island. Doesn't that sound perfect? Seo-jun beamed. showing me flight confirmations on his phone. A proper baby moon for the three of us. 4 months pregnant. Perfect timing before you get too uncomfortable. I glanced at Ji-hoon across the breakfast table. He stared at his coffee like it held answers to questions he couldn't ask. We hadn't spoken about the sketches. About that night. For 2 weeks, we barely looked at each other. It was killing me. Sounds wonderful, I lied. Ji-hoon's jaw clenched. I have meetings. Cancel them, Seo-jun insisted. Family comes first. Isn't that what your mother always says? Something dark flickered across Ji-hoon's face. Fine. Siagwipo, Jeju Island. The private villa Seo-jun rented overlooked the ocean, all glass walls and infinity pools. Paradise. An absolute torture. We'd been there less than 4 hours when Seo-jun's phone rang. What? The trial results leaked? How? His face went pale. I'm coming back. Now. Seo-jun, your vacation? I started. The company could lose millions, Min-jae. I have to go. He was already packing. You two stay. Enjoy the trip. I'll be back in a few days once I fix this mess. I should come with you, Ji-hoon said flatly. No. Someone needs to stay with Min-jae. Doctor's orders, he shouldn't be alone. Seo-jun kissed my forehead hastily. Ji-hoon, please. Take care of him. Then he was gone, a taxi disappearing down the coastal road, leaving me alone with Ji-hoon. In paradise. For 3 days. Day 1, silence. We orbited each other like planets, careful not to collide. Ji-hoon worked on his laptop by the pool. I read on the beach. We ate meals in silence, the ocean filling the space where words should be. But I felt his eyes on me. Constantly. When I touched my growing belly. When the wind caught my hair. When I laughed at something on my phone. Every glance was an ache. A promise. The threat. Day 2 breaking. We can't keep doing this. Ji-hoon's voice startled me. I'd been watching the sunset from the villa's deck, the sky bleeding orange and pink over the water. Doing what? As though I knew. Pretending. He stood beside me, close enough that I could feel his heat. Pretending that night didn't happen. That those sketches don't exist. That we don't. He stopped, breathing hard. Don't what, Ji-hoon SSI? Don't call me that. His voice was raw. You used to call me Hyung. Before the wedding. Before everything got so fucked up. Things changed. Because I married him instead of... He cut himself off, turning away sharply. My heart stopped. Instead of what? Silence. Just waves crashing and my pulse thundering in my ears. Forget it, he muttered. But I couldn't. Not anymore. Day 3 confession. The villa's chef prepared a private dinner on the beach. Candles, wine, juice for me, the works. Romantic. True. Perfect. Seo-jun arranged this before he left. Ji-hoon said stiffly, holding my chair. We ate grilled fish and talked about nothing. Everything. The baby's ultrasound. His architecture dreams. My cafe fantasy. Easy conversation that felt impossible and natural all at once. Then Ji-hoon poured himself a 3rd glass of wine. I need to tell you something, he said quietly. And I need you to not interrupt until I'm done. My hands trembled. Okay. I didn't want to marry Seo-jun. His eyes were dark in the candlelight. It was arranged. Our families needed the business merger. My mother gave me an ultimatum. Marry him or she'd cut me off, destroy everything I'd built. Ji-hoon. Let me finish. Please. He took a shaky breath. The day Seo-jun introduced us at that university reunion, I thought maybe there was still time. To tell my mother no. To choose differently. To choose. His voice cracked. But Seo-jun proposed that same week. Public, dramatic, at that restaurant in Myeongdong. Everyone cheering. My mother watching. And you were there, smiling, congratulating us, looking so happy for him. Tears burned my eyes. I wasn't happy. I was dying inside. His head snapped up. What? I've been in love with you since that reunion, Ji-hoon. When you talked about the buildings you designed, your eyes lit up like stars. When you smiled at Seo-jun's dumb jokes. I couldn't continue. You loved me? His voice was barely a whisper. Present tense. Still. Always. The confession ripped out of me. Why do you think I agreed to carry your baby? Because I'm that good a friend? I laughed bitterly. I'm selfish, Ji-hoon. I wanted a piece of you, even if I could never have all of you. He stood abruptly, closing the distance between us. His hands framed my face, and God, the way he looked at me. I've been in love with you for 3 years, Kang Min-jae. Every day of my marriage has been torture. Watching you at family dinners, smiling at Seo-jun, pretending you were just his friend. Drawing you in secret like a pathetic fool. And now, his hand moved to my stomach, trembling. Now you're carrying my child and I can't think straight anymore. I can't breathe. I can't. Ji-hoon. I love you, he breathed. I love you so much it's destroying me. Our lips were inches apart. His breath on my skin. 3 years of longing in the space between us. I closed the distance. The kiss was desperate, hungry, 3 years of starvation in one moment. His hands in my hair, my fingers clutching his shirt, the taste of wine and salt, and finally, reality crashed back. I pulled away, gasping. We can't, Seo-jun. He's your husband. My best friend. We can't do this to him. I know. Ji-hoon's forehead pressed to mine, both of us shaking. I know. But Min-jae, I can't keep pretending. Not anymore. We have to. For the baby. For what? A lie. His voice broke. Is that what you want? To watch me pretend to love him while our child grows inside you? What choice do we have? I was crying now. You're married. I'm carrying your baby for him. There's no way out of this that doesn't destroy everything. Ji-hoon pulled back, eyes blazing. Then maybe everything should be destroyed. Back in Seoul, Seo-jun knew. I saw it the moment we walked into the penthouse. His eyes were different, cold, calculating, watching us with an intensity that made my skin crawl. How was Jeju? He asked too casually. Fine, Ji-hoon said flatly. Just fine? 3 days in paradise? Seo-jun's smile didn't reach his eyes. Min-jae, you're glowing. Pregnancy suits you. His hand touched my stomach possessively. Ji-hoon's entire body went rigid. I'm tired, I mumbled. I should rest. Of course, rest. Seo-jun's voice followed me down the hall. You're carrying something precious after all. That night, I heard them arguing. Muffled through walls, but violent. Accusations. Denials. Something breaking. Then silence. 2 days later, the dinner. Seo-jun's parents' estate in Pyeongchang-dong. Formal dinner. His sister Yo was there, watching everything with sharp eyes. So, Min-jae, Seo-jun's mother said sweetly, only 5 months left. Are you excited? Very much, I lied. And then what? Back to your little life in Nowon? Her smile was poisonous. Or did you think carrying the baby would make you family? Omianim, I started. Did you fuck him? Seo-jun's voice cut through the dining room like a knife. Everyone froze. What? I whispered. In Jeju. He stood, hands shaking. Husband? Seo-jun, sit down, Ji-hoon growled. Don't. Seo-jun whirled on him. I saw the sketches, Ji-hoon. I'm not an idiot. And the way you look at him, the way he looks at you. Nothing happened, I said desperately. Seo-jun, please. Liar. He lunged at me. Ji-hoon moved but not fast enough. Seo-jun's hand connected with my shoulder. I stumbled backward, my hip hitting the table edge. Sharp pain. Then falling. I hit the marble floor hard. Warmth between my legs. Red spreading on my white pants. Seo-jun's face went white. Oh God. Min-jae. Min-jae, I didn't mean. Ji-hoon was screaming. Someone called 119. Yuna was crying. All I could think was, the baby. Please, not the baby. Then everything went black. I woke to the sterile smell of antiseptic and the rhythmic beeping of monitors. Seoul National University Hospital. Private room. Soft afternoon light filtering through blinds. And Ji-hoon, asleep in the chair beside my bed, his hand wrapped around mine. He looked devastated. Dark circles under his eyes, wrinkled clothes, 3 days of stubble. Like he hadn't left this room in. How long? My voice came out hoarse. His eyes snapped open. Min-jae. Oh God, Min-jae. He pressed my hand to his lips and I felt wetness. Tears. 4 days. You've been out for 4 days. Panic seized me. The baby. Stable. His voice cracked. Placental abruption. They stopped the bleeding. But you're on strict bed rest. High-risk pregnancy now. If there's another incident. He couldn't finish. Where's Seo-jun? Ji-hoon's expression went cold. He's not allowed near you. I made sure of it. Ji-hoon, he didn't mean to. He pushed you. You almost lost our baby. His guilt doesn't erase that. His hand tightened on mine. I should have protected you. I should have. The door slammed open. Seo-jun stood there, wild-eyed, disheveled. Security guards flanking him. Min-jae, I need to talk to him. Please, just 5 minutes. Get out. Ji-hoon's voice was lethal. He's carrying my baby. Our baby. My genetics, my family, my... Ji-hoon stood, body rigid. You lost any claim to him when you put your hands on him. I was angry. You too were. Seo-jun's face twisted. You think I didn't notice? The way you cook for him? Come home early? Look at him like he's the only person in the room. Mr. Park, you need to leave, a security guard said firmly. Not until he tells me the truth. Seo-jun pushed past them, falling to his knees beside my bed. Min-jae, please. Did you sleep with him? In Jeju? Just tell me the truth. No, I whispered. Nothing happened. But you wanted to, didn't you? His eyes were manic. You've always wanted him. That's why you agreed to the surrogacy. Not for me. For him. Seo-jun. Answer me. Enough. A new voice, cold and commanding. Chairwoman Cha swept into the room like an avenging goddess. Designer Hanbok, perfect posture, eyes like steel. Ji-hoon's mother. Security, remove Park Seo-jun from this hospital. He's not to come within 100 meters of Kang Min-jae. She didn't even look at Seo-jun as guards dragged him out, his screams echoing down the hall. She turned to me and I braced for venom. Instead, she sat gracefully in the chair Ji-hoon had vacated. How are you feeling, Min-jae? Confused, I admitted. I imagine so. She folded her hands. It's time you knew the truth about my son's marriage. Omianim, Ji-hoon started. Enough, Ji-hoon. He deserves to know what he's gotten caught up in. She looked at me steadily. My son's marriage to Park Seo-jun was purely contractual. Our company needed Park Pharmaceuticals' drug patents. They needed our manufacturing capabilities and distribution networks. The marriage was to seal the merger. I know that part, I said quietly. Do you know about the heir clause? They had 5 years to produce a child or the contract would void, and both companies would suffer catastrophic losses. She paused. Do you know that Park Seo-jun has been embezzling from our company for 2 years? The room tilted. What? Show him, she told Ji-hoon. Ji-hoon opened his tablet, sliding it to me. Financial records. Transactions. Offshore accounts. Millions of won, systematically siphoned from Cha Industries into accounts under Seo-jun's name. He's been gambling, Ji-hoon said quietly. Underground casinos in Gangnam. He owes money to very dangerous people. He needed this marriage, needed the baby, to maintain access to our accounts long enough to cover his debts. I felt sick. That's why he was so desperate for a surrogate. Why he chose me. You were the perfect solution. Chairwoman Cha's voice was almost pitying. His best friend, Omega, financially vulnerable. Someone he could manipulate with friendship and guilt. Someone who would never suspect ulterior motives. He knew. The realization hit like a physical blow. He knew I had feelings for Ji-hoon. He used that. Ji-hoon's hands clenched into fists. Min-jae, how long have you known? I asked him. 6 months. I hired investigators when money started disappearing. His voice was hollow. I was building a case. Planning to divorce him quietly after the baby was born, let him keep some dignity. But then you agreed to be our surrogate, and everything got complicated. You should have told me. I was trying to protect you. If Seo-jun knew I suspected him, he might have. Ji-hoon stopped, face ashen. He might have hurt you or the baby. Silence fell, broken only by the heart monitor's steady beeping. What happens now? I whispered. Now. Chairwoman Cha stood. Now we press charges. Park Seo-jun will go to prison for embezzlement. The marriage will be annulled. And you, Min Jae-si, will finish this pregnancy under our family's protection. And then, my hand moved to my stomach. After the baby's born? She looked at Ji-hoon. Something passed between them. Understanding, permission, inevitability. That's up to you and my son to decide, she said simply. Then she left. Ji-hoon knelt beside my bed, taking my hand. Min Jae. An alarm blared. Pain ripped through my abdomen, sharp and terrible. Nurse. Ji-hoon screamed. Nurse. Medical staff flooded in. Shouting. Monitors going crazy. Someone pushing Ji-hoon back. He's having contractions. Too early, only 32 weeks. Get Dr. Lee now. Min Jae, stay with me. Ji-hoon's voice, desperate. Stay with me. But the pain dragged me under. Hours later, I woke to crying. Not mine. A baby's cry. He's small but healthy, Dr. Lee's voice filtered through the fog. 2.1 kilograms. Breathing on his own. He's a fighter. Can I? Ji-hoon's voice wrecked. Can I see him? Of course. And when Min Jae wakes up, we'll bring the baby to him too. I forced my eyes open. I'm awake. Ji-hoon was there instantly, holding my hand. You did it. He's perfect, Min Jae. He's perfect. I want to see him. They brought him minutes later. Tiny. Wrinkled. Black hair like his father's. When they placed him in my arms, his eyes opened, dark, unfocused, searching. Looking for me. Hi, baby, I whispered, tears streaming. I stopped. What was I? Not his mother. Not really. Just the person who carried him. Who loved him already more than life. His appa, Ji-hoon said softly, sitting beside me. You're his appa, Min Jae. If you want to be. I looked at him, this man I loved, this impossible situation we'd created. Seo-jun will fight for custody, I said quietly. Let him try. Ji-hoon's voice was steel. He's a criminal. A fraud. He hurt you. He'll never touch this child. Your mother's merger. Fuck the merger. Fuck the company. His hand covered mine on the baby's tiny back. I choose you. Both of you. I've always chosen you, Min Jae. I was just too afraid to say it. The baby made a small sound, nuzzling against my chest. But I have nothing, I whispered. No money, no status, no. You have everything that matters. Ji-hoon leaned in, pressing his forehead to mine. This baby. That's all I need. It won't be easy. Seo-jun won't just disappear. Your mother might change her mind. Society will. I don't care. His voice was fierce. Do you want this, Min Jae? This baby is ours. I looked down at the tiny life in my arms. Our son. Then up at the man I'd loved for 3 years. Yes, I breathed. God help me, yes. Ji-hoon kissed me then, soft and reverent. A promise. The door opened. Seo-jun stood there, flanked by police. His face was hollow, destroyed. I just wanted to see him. Once. His voice broke. Please. Ji-hoon stood, body between Seo-jun and us. No. He was supposed to be mine. He was never yours, I said quietly. And neither was I. I'm sorry, Seo-jun. But this was always going to end this way. The police led him away. His sobs echoed down the corridor. I held our baby tighter, Ji-hoon's hand in mine, and whispered, we're going to be okay. Ji-hoon kissed my hair. We're going to be perfect. Outside, Seoul glittered in the darkness. Somewhere, Seo-jun was being processed. His sister was probably calling lawyers. The media would have a field day. But in this room, with this baby between us and 3 years of longing finally acknowledged, we were home.